I love doing the world this week, and so much happened this week that almost everything could be a blog in itself. India picked their latest T20 team, and I'll only focus on two issues here because there's so much to talk about there. Coming up first is Hawkeye. First of all, no Shreyas Iyer. How does Shreyas Iyer get into the side? He only gets in, given the number he bats at, if Shubman Gill is not in the side or if Tilak Varma is not in the side. I think India have decided that Shubman Gill is going to be an all-format player in course of time, an all-format captain. So can he come in place of Tilak Varma? Well, you want a left-hander in the top order. It would be very hard on Tilak Varma after his performances at number 3 if he is left out. So you want Shreyas Iyer in the team. A lot of you saw the blog would have realized that he was in my team. I didn't have Shubman, but then you've got to go back to the blog to understand why I said that. So, if there's a team of 16, does he come in? Should you only pick 15? With this side, as with the women's team for the World Cup, I think 15 is too few, but I'll address that issue over there. Now, what about Shubman Gill as vice captain? Very, very clearly, India have said we are on the path to having one captain for all formats. I'm not sure that's a great idea because it puts a lot of burden on one player. How much cricket will Shubman Gill play? Now, should he be in the side if you're not managing workloads for batters? Yes, I mean, he's had a fabulous IPL. He always has a fabulous IPL. He gives you solidity and strike rate. He's a very, very good player at the top. My one concern is I would have liked Surya Kumar Yadav to have been appointed captain all the way through to the T20 World Cup, because the last thing you want is for him to keep looking over his shoulder to see what people are thinking about Shubman Gill. So those are my two comments. Shreyas Iyer in a team of 16, 17, definite, bit hard otherwise, and Surya Kumar Yadav as captain all the way through. I looked at the Women's World Cup team and I thought the selectors deserved congratulations. It's such a well-balanced side. You've got enough seam bowling options. You've got 4 spinners. Remember, for a tournament that's going to be played on the subcontinent, 3 of them bat. One is very, very promising. Bat very deep with a seam bowling all-rounder, possibly playing at number 8, and spinners who can bat. And no Shafali Varma. That's the first thing that hits your eye. From the first time I saw Shafali Varma, I'd become a fan. But when her contribution dropped down in 50 overs cricket, India pulled out Pratika Rawal, and she's done everything that you could ask of an opening batter in the 50-over game. So Pratika Rawal comes in. Now you've only got 15 to pick. I think with 7 round-robin matches, if you win the tournament, you've got to play 9. 15 is abysmally low. You've got to have 17 for a World Cup. A bare minimum is you've got to have 16. And the moment you do that, Shafali Varma is the next player in your side. So I'm a little disappointed, as I would be, but I can see why there is no Shafali Varma in this side. Across in Pakistan, everybody is up in arms. No Mohammad Rizwan, no Babar Azam in their latest T20 side. Not in a team of 17. Actually, no Rizwan surprises me more than Babar. I think he's a perky player. But what about Babar Azam? Numbers don't lie. Is Babar Azam a great player? At most times, yes, he's going through a little bit of a dip. Is he a very good T20 player? No, the numbers don't lie. Unless you're playing a 150, 160 game, the numbers don't lie. Can Babar Azam be a very good T20 player? Of course he can. He is a serious player. He's a fabulous, fabulous batter. When he gets going, there are few better sides in the world. So can he be a very good T20 player? Yes, he can. But like many very good test players and 50 overs players, he puts a price on his wicket. The moment you put a price on your wicket, then the 50-50 shot that a lot of others will play becomes a no-no for you. You still want to play at best a 10%, 20% risk shot. So can Babar Azam come back? Is he in a state of mind to come back? I don't know, but purely on numbers, it's a fair call. In stumps, Ajinkya Rahane steps down as Mumbai captain, and yes, that surprised me a little bit. I know him very well, that's a disclaimer, but I also rate him very, very high as a captain. He's 37 now. He's at a stage in his career where people can be very generous because he's done what he had to. I know he's still ambitious. He's still a very good player, but he can now be generous about other players. And that is when you become a very good captain. I only hope he wasn't pushed because he's the kind of player, he's the kind of person who enjoys being leader, enjoys being captain. So I hope he wasn't pushed. I was a little disappointed by something that I read where he was asked if he was available for the Duleep Trophy. He said yes. And then you don't do that with players like a Pujara or a Rahane. No, if you say, I want to move on, you move on. You do not ask them if they're available and then say, sorry, silence. You're not in the side. So I just hope that wasn't the case. I also hope that frees him up to go out and really enjoy his cricket. He's a very intense person. I hope it just frees him up to enjoy his cricket and leave him free to do what he wants to do more than anything else, which is to win matches for Mumbai. In editorial today, I'm going to look at what India has formally announced, that India will not play Pakistan in bilateral matches in each other's territory, but they are okay to play multilateral tournaments, which means the T20 World Cups, the World Cups and the Asia Cups go ahead. It's a very complicated topic, but I'll focus on two in this very short editorial. One, can sport and politics mix? Two, can you say, I will play here, but not there? There's a lot of emotional people out there who say sport and politics should not mix. That's a naive thought. It's always been the case. There's always been double standards about it, where businesses go on, but sport doesn't. We saw that when India refused to play the challenge round. We saw that during apartheid South Africa. We saw that during boycott of the Olympics by the Soviet blocs, by the NATO countries. So sport and politics have always gone together simply because sport arouses such emotion. It inflames passion. People get very involved in it because there's such few things that uplift society in the world these days. So sport and politics, sad to say, will always go together, and I think it's best we accept that. Two, can you say, I will play you here, but not there? If you say, for example, we'll send you tomatoes, you send us dry fruits. I don't think anyone's raising hackles. I don't think anyone's carrying out demonstrations. Those things go under the radar. When I was in Australia late last year, there was a similar issue, and there was a talk of being selectively principled when it came to playing Afghanistan. We will not play against Afghanistan, but we will play them in multilateral tournaments. But there, it wasn't a highly emotional issue like India versus Pakistan. They pretended it was so. It was primarily a financial decision. It doesn't make financial sense, and Australia's always prioritized financial sense in who they play sport and who they don't play against. So, should India play multilateral tournaments? At the heart of it all is the fact that India harbor ambitions of hosting the Olympics. They want to host the Commonwealth Games. I've never understood that. The Commonwealth Games is an idea that whose time vanished many, many, many years ago. But India want to be seen as a major sporting power, host many major international tournaments, and so they cannot be seen to be saying we will not play against a particular country in multilateral tournaments and not allow them to come in. So I think it's a decision that's born out of a little bit of convenience, a little bit of politics, a little bit of long-term sporting ambition, but not playing against each other in bilateral tournaments, given the passion that it arouses, given the emotions that it inflames. I don't think there's a choice. And finally, rock and roll. 24th of August, 1971, one of the great days in Indian cricket history. You could rank that on par with what happened in Brisbane and what happened at the Oval in recent times. India set 173. They take 101 overs. But eventually, Abid Ali square cuts Brian Loughner, the 10-year-old kid who's desperately trying to find the 31-meter band, who's overjoyed and whose eyes are now wide open at the prospect of what is possible. Can India actually go to England and win a test series? Wow! It made a huge impact on me, especially because two of my heroes were involved. B.S. Chandrasekhar to 6 for 38. Abid Ali hit the winning shot. You know what? We were told all the time that England is so much better, that you don't go there and win. Even though in 71, India had beaten the West Indies in the West Indies for the first time. So A magnificent day in Indian cricket, and for a lot of you who are very young, who don't always go back many years, go and read that scorecard. Read the names in there and just feel great like I did. Slightly longer version of The World this week, but so much happened. I'll be back next week with so much more.
So thank you for watching and do subscribe to this channel.